Can you hear that music and everything? Okay. All right. Yeah? You couldn't? Okay. Yeah. Huh.
Sitting right here.
Oh, I do need to unmute you. I had you muted on this.
Oh, nice.
So.
Yeah, no, it's just you and me sitting around talking.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing I need to do. Oh, I'm glad I got John on here. Because I need to...
Hayes, or who we got?
Yeah. John.
I've got a
I
new
need to
message
see if I can...
What?
Why is this being so... All right. Well, that doesn't help me much. I need to go up and over a little bit. Because if I turn that on...
You do your thing, man. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pray it up. Just felt led to do that today. So, Father, we love you, Lord. Thank you that we get a chance to hang out together as friends and shoot the new tech stuff and talk with people. But God, I pray today that you would speak to somebody, that you would encourage somebody, Lord. That whoever's out there that needs to see a life transparent, that needs to see two pastors' lives just yielded to you, or needs a word direct from you, God, I pray that you would push it through us. And Lord, I just let this be a show, let this be a conversation that magnifies your name, King Jesus. So whatever it is, whether that be in tech or family or friendship or whatever, Lord, magnify your name and make it great, we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, I was shifting some stuff around, trying to move. What overlay is locked? It says I got an overlay unlocked.
And again. Come on, Wi-Fi.
I don't know what this thing is doing. Yeah, I think that'll work.
There we go.
Yeah. That'll work. Anyways, yeah, John said, just stopping by to say, hey, before I hop out. Jason Remster. Jason, we need to teach you how to put your face on your YouTube profile. So that way, instead of it just being a big J.
Pink J? You don't like the pink?
I don't want pink J. I want bald J. So... Oh, Mama's saying here she's blaming it on the equipment again. I was blaming it on the equipment.
Definitely. Every time.
Yeah.
Every time, Dip.
Lots of blaming of the equipment. Oh, I know what I was trying to do. I was trying to get over to my studio dashboard, which I could probably show people what I don't know if they can see it. Let's see if they can do.
What's up, Dustin? Happy Wednesday.
Moving stuff around.
What's up with is MM Micah?
Yes.
Micah.
All right. Let's see. There's my control room. YouTube control room.
I feel better about this. Now people can see the rocket ship.
They can see the rocket ship.
Look at that. Oh, it's easy. I mean, you just get on and have a conversation. Sure.
Yeah. Let's see. We can add here. Let's add Jarrod back in so we can see his lovely face.
Oh, I'm a mini square.
We're gonna turn you. Should we go
in this bubble and I can't? Nope.
We'll turn you to a round one.
I can't.
There you go.
There we go. That's awesome.
And then we'll move you over there. I think actually here we'll just put you right here, right in the center. As soon as I can find the center. Command. Nope. Is it Control? How about Shift? Nothing. It's not showing me where the center is. Ooh. It's like
that's so cool, man.
Come on. Why won't you let me find the center of the screen? Where's the center of the screen? Shift. Whatever. Okay. That's going to be good enough. Now I just need to add me. Overlays. New camera overlay. We'll do the Cam Link 4K. I will change my settings and drop me to a little round circle as well. And then bring... There. Now I'm scratching my back if I do this. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Why am I so weird and odd and strange?
My wife asks me that all the time.
By the way, do you guys see that thing down below?
Not you, but me.
Well, that's Mom. All right, hey, you see that thing down below? It says buymeacoffee.com/Joshua Verwers. Join up for like a little membership, $10 a month. That means I'm going to be providing you some extra content. Really, what I'm trying to do over there is
you to that, man.
help other people. I got another post coming out today, and just a little bit of a preview for those that are here in the pre-show. TikTok app for the Mac and PC. So we're going to be talking about that. And then I think this month I'm really going to be kind of leveraging in on like vertical video and kind of explaining and giving some tips and some best practices and stuff, because I really believe that March and April are going to be really big, especially on YouTube for short vertical videos. So,
yeah.
And I'm learning some stuff.
You should be ready to go. You've got a library built. Got the machine.
I got one. I missed yesterday. Yesterday was a busy day, and I did not upload my short for yesterday.
Are you making them day of? I thought you were batch making them.
I was batch making them, but I got backed up on... was Monday the 1st? Yeah, I think Monday. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, whenever that was. So I did through February. It was already batched, and then Mondays I did... Like, I forgot to record it and realized I hadn't batched anything because Sunday was a busy night. So I just didn't get anything done. And it was, I don't know, like 10 o'clock Monday night that I recorded and uploaded one. So, and then I was going to do the Tuesday morning. And then we headed out and we took off to, I wonder if my stream, oh, it did. Hey. For those that are on Twitter, I just used my Stream Deck right there to send out a tweet. I just hit a button. What?
Would it be too confusing, since we're 2 minutes and 19 seconds out, would it be too confusing if you swapped me? Because I know I'm normally on this side or whatever, but when I look towards you, I look towards the monitor, which is on the left. So I'm always going to be looking towards the left. Now I look like I'm looking off screen.
So do I.
I guess I could just
which is really going to be fun when we do our side by side.
Really, you don't say.
It will be a little tricky, and part of that is me doing the buy me a coffee. That overlay, I can't really customize it, so it's only on that side. And I figured it would be better having my name underneath me. So we'll just deal with it. Oh yeah, this was Micah with like an Instagram filter on her face. Happy Wednesday, Dustin Damesworth. Yeah, cool shot of the setup. Yeah, the little Logitech C920 that's, I don't know, way too old. Howdy.
All right, kids, let's all calm down, Dustin. If you're gonna be all hip and cool like that, you're gonna have to share with the rest of the class.
What, this one? The I am in the skull?
My wife's all into that right now. I'm like, babe,
he's saying,
what are we doing here?
I am dead.
Oh, okay.
Which means you were just laughing so hard you're dead. I don't know what it was about.
I got you.
I don't know. Maybe it was the shameless plugs that I was doing.
I'm full on boomer right now, so.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah.
Josh, put your bubble on your head.
Can you do that?
I love it. That's hilarious. The only thing that would make it better. Wait, oh, that doesn't work because then I move. Anyways, that's just silly.
Wait, see, it's even backwards, so I gotta go.
Oh, hey, you know what we're gonna do? I think we're going live.
Oh, whoops. Hey, it's time. Launch it.
Welcome to the Vlogpastors Podcast, a podcast all about the stories and strategies of sharing God's love in the digital world. Now, here are two pastors that love to put a camera in their face and walk around in public. They are the Starsky and Hutch of digital ministry, Jarrod Brown and Joshua Verwers.
That's right. We are here. We are the Starsky and the Hutch of digital ministry. Joshua Verwers, Jarrod Brown, and you guys are here joining us. How you doing?
Hi.
We've been doing this for so long. I think this is officially like episode number 38.
Oh man, we're so close to 40.
Yeah. So we've been doing this a while, and yet for some reason, I still always forget what I'm supposed to be saying. So I don't know how that happens, but it happens. Let me do this. I've got for those
Where's
who
your
are
notes?
kind of wondering. I don't have any notes, but
I know you don't.
I need to tip this down the MacBook so I can see
You
down
have
in there.
the same sticky note setup I do. Look at that mess.
All the way across.
That's what I'm talking about. If you look behind this camera, you would see sticky notes.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
I've got
Yep.
color-coded. They are color-coded sticky notes. So it's like, depending on what we're doing and all of that stuff and
I feel you.
things and
things and stuff.
And things and stuff. Yes. So I think I've got this all switching and it should be doing a decent job. I didn't even go, social and promote anything, which means while you're talking here in a little bit, I'm probably going to be sharing some stuff out because I forgot to do that. But before we do that, how about we say hey to some people?
Let's do it.
All right. John Hayes was in here, and then I think he left and hopped out. Jason Remster saying hello. My mom saying hello. My youngest
The Deb
saying hello.
Micah.
Dustin Damesworth. Happy Wednesday.
He's that new hot freshness right here. Here he comes.
Yeah. Tectonic saying awesome. And Henry, what's up, boys?
What's up, Henry?
He says that I am battle ready. And he says that we need some more pairs. How about Garfield and Odie? Actually, I have Garfield and Odie on the list of upcoming names, which means I better get that ordered because you just said something about 40, and I think I only had enough up through 40, so I've got to get on that. Hop over on Fiverr and get us some more voiceover.
We've got to do, as by we I mean you, we've got to do like a 50th episode giveaway.
What are we going to give away?
Something. That's exactly what I was thinking about yesterday. I was out for my walk and I'm like, what's some like physical pieces that extend the digital ministry type of deal? Like what are some nuggets that I could kind of look into as far as giving to my audience? I was like, crickets.
Yep.
Absolute crickets.
I think actually.
You have them. I hate that thing. That would be next on the list. If it weren't for that, how do you pronounce it? ATEM?
ATEM Mini.
ATEM Mini. That's next for me.
Yeah.
I need it for church.
Which one? The ATEM Mini, the ATEM Mini Pro, or the ATEM Mini Extreme?
Thus, why I haven't purchased any of them.
I would say future-proof yourself, ATEM Mini Pro. It's the one that came out last year. It'll give you 4K, where the ATEM Mini won't. Plus, it not only does that, I think you can actually stream directly from it if you need to, but it'll give you 4 camera angles. I don't think you really need the, the Extreme. I think it gives you up to 8 camera angles.
I don't need 8 camera angles.
Yeah.
I mean,
for most a 3 camera setup would be fine. And like a church, a 3 camera is good. You get your wide, your medium, and your tight shot, and you're good. I don't know what else you would need there, but even the tight shot is going to be a struggle because how do you do a tight shot with like live streaming a church service
you're
without
running
having
around.
a cameraman? Because you got to have somebody there. Like I was thinking about doing it.
Problems, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it. I bought this tripod that that thing's actually there's here. I can probably show you guys. That's the cam link up there, and it's on this fluid head tripod. And it was like I just really messed up my angle. It was on.
Get your angles.
Look at that. You're looking down at my belly. There we go. So it was bought that one to figure for use at church and tried it one Sunday. And I'm like, nope, done. I mean, at least I didn't spend more than I think $25 on it. Just like, no, because it's just not going to be something that we would use in that scenario. And if you're not going to use it, no point. I've looked at the A10 minis and the A10 Mini Pro, and that would be kind of nice. But I mean, as you guys can already see, I have this control room where I got my MacBook Pro, I've got my Stream Deck, I've got my Rodecaster Pro, I've got my PC right here. So that's the extra monitor that's going off there. So that's all Ecamm up there. I've got Jarrod on Skype right there, so you can see his, yeah. So it's just the control center, all of this stuff. What am I going to do if I had an A10 Mini? Where would I even put that? Like, where? So
you've already got your switcher, so you're good.
And this does a good job for switching. Now it'll only work off so many ports, so I would have to like the next camera I buy is going to be a Sony ZV-1, and I could run that USB, which it'll probably take the place of that one up there. But I could also run that through like a Cam Link or another type of capture device. But then you're limited on the amount of ports that you've actually got on your computer. And then it's also resource heavy. So unless you've got a fast, powerful computer, you don't try that. If you do, try it. If not, that's where the A10 Mini Pro comes in, because it's not like a digital switcher like this Stream Deck would be. You're basically just switching in the A10 Mini between your camera angles, and then it sends 1 feed out. So it works. And I mean, I could run it. I mean, I technically have, this keyboard over here. I could run the A10 Mini here as well, and then just when I need to type, go up and over. But why?
This must be our tech portion. So Deb just fell asleep. But I do have a serious question, quasi-serious. Rode Wireless Go 2 in conjunction with A10 Mini Pro. What do you think? Worth it or go with the old school? I just need it to come out of the soundboard. But it's kind of like we get 2 receivers the other way, or transmitters. If
you don't have either one, get the Wireless Go 2. Because the other thing about the Wireless Go 2 is that it's got built-in recording capabilities. And so you've got like a backup, which in church world, having a backup, because there's just like this law of nature. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong.
Wait, are you saying it records to itself?
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Yeah, it has built-in recording. Yeah. And it does it in like a split track. So you can separate it out like a left and a right. So if you've got the 2 different ones, yeah.
Add to cart.
Add to cart. Yep. No, it's great. The only other thing that I would recommend, and like I don't have it, so I don't know how much they've improved the sound quality on it. I do like that the little wind muff that comes with it, that they have that in a locking position now. Because when I got mine, it came with that little wind muff. I have no idea where it's at. It lasted, I think, 3 days, and then I lost it. And it was on. It just vanished. So when I tried to do a review of it, I was like, where's that at? How do I do a review if I've already lost pieces? And I should have just done a review and said, oh, yeah, by the way, you'll lose these things. So be careful.
So I take it the Comica, what was it? Comica Boom? What was that one?
Yeah, the Comica Boom XD.
Comica Boom XD didn't make the cut. I saw you out in Augie's territory yesterday, it looked like.
Yeah. Augie picked it up. I believe their church is going to be using it, and that's going to help them a ton. Cool. It is a good setup. I ran it. You know me, I'm a little bit of an audiophile.
Yep.
I think that, and here's where I would differ from Diana. Diana would sit there and say that they sound the same. Like the Rode and the Comica sound the exact same. I say no. But this is also Diana that thought like the Samson Q2U sounded better than the Shure
Yeah.
SM7B, so
Yeah.
she needs to get her ears checked a time
They
or
were
two.
really close. And I can understand not wanting to make that jump.
They were close, but for me, not close enough. For others, for the price difference, absolutely. But there is a difference between the Comica and the Rode, and my ears are accustomed to the sound of my voice on the Rode. Ooh. And I've got all of my presets already dialed in through like Premiere and Adobe Audition. But the Comica is good. Like, it sounds really good. And it was just a case that I have these two wireless systems. I thought I would need two because I thought maybe, Logan and I doing, some type of talking back and forth, and maybe that could come in handy. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, I mean, I've got two of these. Like, there's one right here and there's one right there. So would I rather have a wireless mic or these if we're going to be doing that? Well, I'd obviously rather have these. So at that point, it was like, I just don't need it. Who can use it? But it is good. So for a church that's looking for a wireless system, the Comica Boom XD, especially that Duo version, that's good. And the price, because you're going to get two transmitters, one receiver, plus lavaliers. So you're going to get the lav mic that attaches into it, as well as cables that will go to Sony and Fuji, and I think Sony and Fuji cameras. Another cable that goes into like Canon and Nikon, and that's because their audio levels, their preamps are different. And then one that goes into like smartphones, tablets, computers. So it's that TRRS. It's a good system. So,
dude, if you can do me a favor to show you what the difference is, the audience, what the difference is, can you turn that noise floor, that one click button, can you turn that back on again? So this is what I heard when we hopped on this morning. If you're able, are you able?
Yeah.
I don't want to mess up the whole stream, but
all right, you ready?
We hopped on. I heard this.
You don't hear it, but they do.
Oh, they do? Well, that's what I heard. That's what I heard this morning. I'm like, Josh, something's wrong. Something is definitely wrong. And then, did you turn it off already?
Yeah, I turned it off.
And then whenever you hear his voice coming through without all of the noise on it, you're like, oh, that's what I'm used to. That's what I've come to expect from from Joshua. It's like there's something scratching my ears, and I hate it. Yeah.
Yep. It's
So it didn't make the cut. Comica Boom.
No, and it's just because, and part of it is I've got too much equipment, so something had to go.
Isn't that that's the current hurdle right now? It's like I've got some really cool stuff, which last week I built up the whole rig, remember? Or I built out the cage and the monitors and all the extra arms to do my run and gun that you charge your client. And then I got to thinking, my back would hurt so bad if I ran that for a whole day of just like up, down, getting the good shots and stuff. I would much rather run lean and mean with a wireless mic, instead of getting that heavy boom mic up in their face. That's the balance right there. Portability over like the top best quality ever.
Well, and that's like, when I talk about, I want to get that Sony ZV-1, which, I mean, for anybody that's looking for a camera to start out with, I think the Sony ZV-1 is a great option here. Here's a new version on your floating coffee hand here.
What is it? Oh, I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, I can't even. It's not floating, so I don't know what to do. I feel like I've seen behind the curtain. I don't know what to do about that.
It's been exposed.
Oh man. How do I feel? I mean, like the mystery's taken away. It didn't float in from the side.
It didn't.
I now know that Micah delivers your coffee.
It's either Micah or Genevieve. I text Genevieve, but Micah came in, so I never know. I was going to say, speaking of Genevieve, she was here and said hello, and she's still here, I'm sure. And Johnny Dobbs saying, what's up? What's up? I believe Johnny and I were talking in one of the comments sections of one of my videos, and I think he found me from Instagram. So found his way and came on over. So Johnny, good to have you here as well.
What's up,
I know I've seen his name around, in the comments on something. I wish I could remember all of them, but
isn't it weird how we're all overlapped and connected? Like we found each other. You found me through my wife's Instagram.
Yeah.
Of all places.
Of all places, yeah. And Diana Gladney found me from Trey. I think I found Trey from, I want to say it was like the Social Media Church podcast. And I found the Social Media Church podcast from That Christian Vlogger. But I found That Christian Vlogger from, I don't even remember who that was. Oh, it was Pro Church Tools, their podcast. And I think I found the Pro Church Tools podcast from the 200 Churches podcast, which is about churches 200 people or less. And I have no idea how I found them. Like, no idea whatsoever. Like, so, yeah.
I could see the layers of the YouTube deep dark pit that you went through. I love it. It's like don't. It was like, I remember all those layers. It's like
peeling those back. Well, and then I think like Jason Mayfield and I connected through the No Small Creator Facebook group. So
really?
Yes. Because somebody had asked what niche are you in? And I was just like, faith-filled videos. And put Christian in parentheses because you say faith sometimes and they're like, well, what faith?
Yeah.
But yeah, I put that and he's like, ooh, we need to connect. I'm like, checked him out and I was like,
speaking
sweet.
Of overlapping, I've really been enjoying his Instagram stories as of late where he's just getting out the bass. I mean, I always enjoy him, but like getting out the bass, that has inspired me to lighten up on my plan and strategy for Instagram, which is a running joke between Jesse and I because it doesn't exist. I don't have an Instagram. My last post was like forever ago.
Right.
But I get caught up in my head, as most of us do, as to what we're going to post and what style and what strategy, blah, blah, blah. And I've really enjoyed his because it's like, I get that he's a personality and he's got a show and he's professional and he's driving towards something. I love that part of him as well, but I am enjoying the snot out of watching him play with a bass.
Yep. It's well, and that's the other thing I think about, like stories. I think stories, whether it be, YouTube story or YouTube stories, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, or Twitter fleets, it's 24 hours and it's
I forgot.
I just saw Jarrod's face go.
I'm sorry. I'm not in the Twitter sphere, so
Twitter has fleets, as in a fleeting thought. It's here and then it's gone.
Oh, okay.
Which is a brilliant, because a tweet, it's just a short little type chirp, and then you get all of those, basically the 24-hour turnaround on those things. It is kind of nice to have that ability so that we don't have to niche down per se on that. And I've honestly thought, like, most of my content, with the exception of, the buy me a coffee branding or walking in with some Golden Girls mugs. Apart from that, I don't talk about my obsession, shall we say, with caffeinated beverages. I'm like, man, I don't think people actually realize how much coffee I drink. Maybe I should just do one of these someday where it's a story and I'm like, cup number 1. And then,
I think we've narrowed it down, right? Between 2 and 3 pots.
Yes. Yeah. 2 or 3 pots.
I got to Google that. How many ounces are in a pot of coffee?
A pot of coffee. Well, mine, it's a 10-cup pot. 10 cups, 8 ounces a cup. That's 80 ounces. So 160 ounces would be 2. Yeah, I'd say that's probably pretty close.
Holy mackerel.
Which, if you think about it, that's only like 8 20-ounce cups.
How come? Never mind.
Hey, David Rowland in the house says, hey guys, haven't been here or haven't been able to watch in a while. Good to see you. Glad you're hopping around as well. Dean Lentini, I found everybody through you guys and this podcast. Found
everybody. Yeah. Love that. Love to hear that, man.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool community because then, like, you have your folks, that comment individually on your channel, but once you get into this, it's just awesome. I can't even put words to it because it's nice to make something and then just have a team because what we make is personal since it's vlogs for the most part.
Right.
I mean, you do some tech stuff, but you're giving a portion of yourself to say, I'm just putting it out there. This is what God's doing in me. This is what he's doing in us. It is what it is. And then just to have a team of support around you going, yeah, us too. We're doing the same thing. Press on, brother. It's like, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, definitely refreshing. It's nice to have that community. And I mean, the one thing I do on Facebook more than anything else is just groups. And I'm interested to see, I guess Twitter is now going to start bringing in a group portion on their little communities. If they do that,
Nothing new under the sun.
I may not be on Facebook at all at that point.
You love you some Twitter, don't you?
I like Twitter because it is short bites of information. I think I just need, like, my life motto needs to be tilde, too long, didn't read. When I go on Facebook and it says read more, I usually scroll past. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's hard.
We were
and there are
literally
some
talking
people
about this
that
yesterday.
Were you?
Yeah. Oh, Jesse and I. Well, like, we're the opposite of whatever is current right now. We must be the oldest souls on the planet because we're the 2% that whenever something comes up, like a video comes up, most folks right now, the hot new thing on Instagram with all the Instagram girls is to be pointing at the words as they come up. All the different little
the
faces.
TikTok trend.
They do the thing just in case you're scrolling by. So Jesse and I, as we're scrolling through Instagram, if you've ever seen a kid scroll through Instagram, it's fast, fast, fast,
right.
fast, fast, fast. And then they stop on like something. They may back up for a second and then fast, fast, fast. If we missed a second of the video, we'll go back and watch the entirety of it over again. It doesn't necessarily have to be entertaining. It's like, what's wrong with us? When it says read more, we are those people. What happened?
No,
I got up to this point. What happened?
And for me, it's platforms. So it's each platform, and it's often what I go into the platform, what I expect out of the platform, and then when they try to do something that I never wanted them to do, and there's another platform that already does that. If I want a long read, I'm going to go read a blog. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to your website and I'm going to read your blog, or I was going to say I'll grab a book. No, I won't. I won't grab a book because I won't read it. I'll listen to it. But I've been on Facebook, I don't know, for a long time. Like back when Facebook was so exclusive that if your school didn't have access to it, you couldn't be on it.
Oh man, you're OG right there.
I'm like
wow.
OG Facebook user and figured out how to like hack the system to get access to it until they caught me. So I've been around the Facebook realm, and for me, it was just a status update. What are you doing right now? What are you up to? And it was short little thing. All of a sudden, when everybody and their mother want to be like political or theological commentators, and I'm like, shut it. I don't want it. I don't want to hear. I don't listen to the news because I don't care about their opinions. Just like, don't care. If I cared, I would ask a question and then I might read it. And then that becomes frustrating for me because I'll ask a question and I'll even on there. I do this all the time. I'm like, hey, if you are this person and you have experience doing this, what are your thoughts on this? And it never fails. People can't read the beginning. These are qualifiers. You didn't qualify. I don't want to hear from you right now.
That's so true.
Shut it.
Yeah, that's true. What is it with these different platforms? Okay, like Facebook. I get that they age out at a certain point, but I hate Facebook, but I have to be there.
Yeah.
Because that's where the largest smattering of my congregation is.
Well,
for the most part, because even the kids who don't like to be there at all, they're still loosely connected and can get messages through it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? I want to execute it, but what do you do?
From the biblical approach, I mean, we're supposed to go where our people are at.
That's where they're at. I hate it.
I feel you. Like, the only thing I get joy out of from Facebook is one or two groups, and it's about 1/10 of the time that I actually enjoy being a part of those, because it's going to give me something that I would appreciate. Beyond that, it's where that's where my congregation's at. That's where some of my friends are at, and they won't go over to Twitter no matter how much I tell them it's awesome, and they won't get on Instagram because they think it's all about taking selfies, and they don't want to be on YouTube because they're tired of the cat videos, and we can't go with TikTok because China's trying to take over, and it's like these are the platforms I enjoy being on, and if you aren't there but I want to be with you, well, I guess I'm gonna have to go where you're at. And so we'll go.
Man, it's definitely a balance in it, because like the majority of my side hustle money comes from Facebook videos or Instagram videos, but it's like I enjoy Instagram way more than Facebook, because at least you're giving me whatever snippet, like you said, in a picture. I can scroll past it. It doesn't alert you that I didn't like it or whatever. I can kind of observe from a distance. But Facebook, it's everybody screaming at the same time. Politics. They don't even care. And then even the stuff where I'm like, oh, this is cool. They're trying to sell me something. I hate Facebook. Sorry. Anyway, rant over.
No, I'm with you on that. Where it's. Let me put it this way. I think maybe what we need to do, especially since we're of the creative, maybe we just need to start making it what we want it to be. And just kind of leading the charge on it, which, I mean, to a certain degree, that's kind of what I do on Facebook. I don't post that often, but when I do, try to engage. Although I also have, a wife that she is on Facebook all the time. So if it's something that I really need to see, she's my filter. And she's like, hey, you should watch this. You should check this out. Somebody just posted this. And if it's not her, then, it's my mom. And she's like, hey, did you see what I posted? No, you probably didn't see what I posted. Let me show you what I posted. Okay. So that's kind of that. Apparently she's with you. She hits the read more.
Every time.
She realizes it's way
like a
too
moth
long.
to the flame every time.
Yeah. David Rowland saying, same for me on Facebook due to a large portion of my congregation being there. Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, we're going to go where they're at and just kind of be there for them. And even beyond those of us that are in ministry, I think we still do that. I mean, if we've got friends and family members that, they've got something that's important to them and they're like, hey, how about you come over? Well, we would go. So, I mean, not necessarily where I want to be.
Yeah. It's such a weird balance. I'm thinking to myself, and side note, yes, Genevieve, I love your posts. You're, of course, in the what's it called? Exceptions. Well, obsessions. Yes. Exceptions. So I'm thinking to myself, like, how can I support my community in particularly? Like, of course, rather than just spamming people with what I think is important, could be looked at as like me trying to make money or gain fame or anything. You know what I mean? Like, like if I think our church services are amazing. Is the production quality good? No. That's why I don't put it out for the masses. It's mainly like a group page kind of a thing. Yeah. But I want to put it out there. But there's so many churches already that exist that are self-promoting. That's like, you got another insert church here with all their trendy stuff. It's kind of cool, but you don't even get to hear it because you're past it. You see it all the time. So it's like, that's church world. But even in my side hustle stuff, like I would love to go around to the businesses like we've done in the past, find one that we really love and support and make them videos and just bless them with the videos, which sounds awesome. But one, that's my business, that looks like marketing and anyway, it's just a mess. That's such a struggle though. But like, I want to do those things. Also time. You're like, I want to go out there and make all these videos and give them away for free. Well, there's my business. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, thoughts? None.
I mean,
how do you invade this sphere authentically? But all the things that I'm already interested in and excited about, or you're interested and excited about, it's going to come across. Even this YouTube thing, like I'm sitting down with my friend, we're discussing fun topics that are exciting to us, but we're building an audience and making a life. We like to see ourselves on camera. Like, what? Yeah, that's a cool byproduct of it. Anyway, thoughts? I'm done.
No,
Okay.
I'm trying to find the question in the questions.
Oh gosh. Just pick one.
No. Here, you've said all the thoughts. Break
Yes.
it down one question.
Dude, I can't do that. That's not the way I function. I gave you like 7. Let's go. How do we invade a space that is, we're getting off, but is new and dynamic in the ways in which we already do that without the air of self-promotion? Or that's what limits me from posting a lot of stuff, because it's like, it's for the church, it's for my YouTube channel, but those are where I'm naturally interested and gifted, or whatever, or see movement.
How
do we do that well?
Yeah, so I would sit there and start out by saying we probably have a flawed notion of
Guaranteed. I know where you're going.
Self-promotion.
Yep.
Because you sit there and you look, and I always kind of bring this one up, and it's just a great one, but it's that whole thing with God and Abraham. What is it? I'm trying to find this here. I want to say it's Genesis 12. Yeah. Genesis 12:1. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Get out of your country, from your family, from your father's house, to a land that I'll show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you. I will curse him who curses you, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." And that Abrahamic, blessing right there, God is saying, Abram, I'm going to make your name great. I'm going to bless you. And through you, all these nations are going to be blessed. And so that's like that whole I'm blessed to be a blessing. Yes. But for you to truly be a blessing, you not only have to be blessed, there was something missing in I'm blessed to be a blessing. I'm blessed. My name is made great, and then I can be a blessing. And that's kind of the progression of this. So I think, there's a little bit of a false illusion that we have of what self-promotion is. It's one thing if we are promoting ourselves. It's another thing if God is promoting us. And so just share the stuff. And that comes down to a motivation aspect. What Romans 12 tells us the same thing, not to be, don't think of yourself more highly than you ought to think, but soberly, as God has given, each man that measure. But it's that don't think more highly of yourself. Still think highly of yourself, just not more highly. And that's where I think there's this balance of putting stuff out there. And if people say, you're just trying to promote yourself. Nope. I'm trying to promote God, and God is promoting me in the process. And if you don't like it and you don't sign up with it, deuces. See ya. And so it's like you put stuff out there, and here's like the crazy and the hard thing about it is we never know what somebody is going to connect with. It's like I sat there and I did a TikTok video last week before, where I took Coolio's Gangster's Paradise.
That's my favorite one.
And then put that in with Psalms 23. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking that going into it, I'm like, this thing is going to blow up. This thing is going to explode. That's the one that's just going to take off, and, people are going to hit. And to a certain extent, it did. Like I'm scrolling down and looking, 8,905 views on that thing. Well, then a couple days later, I just posted just one of the other shorts, just a scripture, and that's all it was. And it is now done 13,000. And it's like, I would have thought that the music would have kicked off a little bit better, that it would have been more popular. But for some reason, that other one, and it was, I don't know, I don't even remember what scripture it was. I'd have to look back over it. I go through one every day. But it was basically, if I remember right, stop just giving God, God wants righteousness more than sacrifice. So Proverbs, 21:3 or something like that. And that was one of those that with that part of it, it was resonating to people that were sitting there and saying, but I try to do all these things for God. And it's like you're giving things up. You're making sacrifices rather than just doing the simple things of what he told you. And over again, like people are asking me, well, what does he want me to do? And I was like, trust him and obey. It's like, how generic of an answer is that? Just trust and obey. Just obey him. Do what he says. I'm most Christian creators would get into the weeds on that type of a deal. And they'd be like, oh, well, he wants you to do this, and he wants you to do this, and he wants you to make sure you do. And they're like, all these things. And I'm like, no, just obey him. And the one time, I think 1 or 2 times, people were like, but what does that mean? Like, okay, start with loving him and loving people. Start there. Once you got that figured out, you can move on to the next one. And simple little answers like that. But I would have never thought that that was going to be what people were going to respond to and, enjoy. And then over here, like on, YouTube, well, we saw, Dean sitting here and saying he's found everybody just through us in this podcast. And this is essentially you and I just having a chat talking about random things because we can and we want to. And some people would sit there and be like, oh, well, you just like seeing yourself on camera. Well, I do, but that's not why I do it. It's like I do it because I know that God can use the most mundane things. God can use us having just little conversations like this. And that was, even think about when we did Vlogmas, we had the editor swap.
Oh, man, I was having good vibes. Here we are going in a good direction, and then you have to bring up Vlogmas. Okay, go ahead.
So Vlogmas, we did the editor swap, and you gave me a ton of footage that was very much disjointed.
You and I do not communicate the same, but go ahead.
So, well, yeah, it was like, to me, it seemed a lot of like disjointed stuff, but I heard one thing out of that. And it was like, this is a good message right here. And so I pulled that out, then gave it to you, and you're like, I wouldn't have went that direction.
I would not have went that direction.
But how often does God do that with us? And we know that in our preaching on a Sunday morning, it's like all of a sudden I'm preaching blood covenant and somebody hears some message about the rapture. And I'm like,
right.
Did you have earbuds in? Were you listening to somebody else? I mean,
that was a great word about the rapture.
Yeah. I'll be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. It was like, are you talking like, 6 months ago or no, right now? Well, praise God. So with us posting stuff, and how do we invade a space without that self-promotional aspect of it or feeling that? We're basically, our job, I think, is just to do something. Especially if we don't know what to do, just do something. And then trust that God can use whatever that is to speak to somebody with whatever they need. And that's what I would say. So just like, try things. And then when you start to do things, you start to figure it out. And I haven't you seen that in like even your preaching, where you try different ways of preaching or even different styles of studying, and then eventually you just figure out how God uses you most effectively?
Oh, yeah. Guaranteed. Yeah.
So why not? I think that's been the thing with me with all this digital ministry too, is trying to find the parallels between offline and online ministry. And I think the hard part, especially for us, that we've been pastoring for, we got some years under our belt. We've seen a few things. We've learned a few things. We've probably forgotten more that we've learned or that we're still using, because it's like we just forget so much of that. And then when you go into an online fashion, it's like you have to, start in and relearn. Okay, I don't have to preach like, all of the television preachers,
right,
to make an impact. I don't have to preach like anybody else. I just get up and sometimes I don't even have to preach. Sometimes I don't have to say much. And all of a sudden, those are the best ones when the Holy Spirit just takes whatever I've done and just uses it. I don't know. I don't know if that answered your 15 questions or not.
Fair enough, man. That's so fascinating, though. Truly, it's multi-layered. You're talking about Vlogmas, and that was your illustration, which is fun for me because that was not the story in my mind that I
Right.
shot for you. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, there were a couple different avenues that you could have taken, but none of those avenues that I set up were the ones that you chose. And it came
Right.
out great. It was a great job. Great,
Yeah.
great editing job, great video. But I've just, like you said, so many times over and over again. As a matter of fact, it's an ongoing thing in my house that I'm checking with my wife to say, is this reality? Like, is this, am I understanding this correctly? Because it's back up one more time and say we had all of the pastors over, and you guys know that we're doing like we've sold the church. We're walking out a word that we feel like we've received from the Lord, and there's ups and there's downs to it, and the whole congregation is along for the roller coaster ride. Well, a couple of days ago, we invited all the pastors of the city over to our place. It's once a month, Ministry Alliance thing. Once a month, the different church hosts, and the host church kind of has the agenda, kind of has the floor. And we have for years said, we push our agenda. We don't have one, like we yield it to whatever is the greatest need of the community or the community of faith, whatever, for that given time. But this time around, it was like, we need to hear some stuff,
Yeah.
like we need to know moving forward what's supposed to happen, where our strengths are, where our weaknesses are, what the Lord's saying, that whole thing, and how do we do this together. Well, we get there on that day, and I've prepped the president. I've talked to a couple people. We need some time. This is important to us. But the police chief is there, and he just, I would say, anointed of God to deliver some information to the guys, so much so that it takes up the entirety of the time. And I've called in all the staff, all the staff's there. We've got some friends in the community who hear, and they are now there at the meeting, and we're debriefing afterwards going, what just happened? Like, are we, what happened? I think that's just so God in a way. I mean, we're doing the best we can. We're trying to follow after what he said, but it's still clear as mud. You know what I mean? Like, we've got enough to have faith for today to take the next step.
Right.
It's a little uncertain after that. And I don't know. I guess that's kind of what I was looking for in that question, or as I presented it, what I pull out of that is we're right where we're supposed to be. We have enough information to take the next step. We're doing what we can with what we have. We're improving our skills. We're trying to be as obedient as possible to him and what he said already. And it just is what it is. And if he will say it's video or audio or blog or sermon or church or life or work, whatever, if he chooses to put his hand on it at a given time, that's his choice, or he's shaping for a future blessing. I know it is for his glory, our good and his glory, whatever's working out. It's just in the mix of it, it's hard to tell which way's up. And that seems to be my season of life. I have to check in with my wife and go, Are we good? Are we dedicating a lot of time towards YouTube that is, somewhat fruitless? Because I feel like we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
True or false? And she'll have to. I'm like, no, I think that's the Lord. I think we're. Yeah, okay, that's I did too. Just needs to, just reaching out.
Yep.
I feel like we're tracking. Like, are we going as a congregation? Or I feel like this is a big risk, some big steps. Community of faith. Yeah, no. Sounds like the Lord. We don't know what we're doing, but it sounds like the Lord.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of wisdom even in the approach that you're talking about, where every now and then you got to kind of just circle back around and kind of circle the wagon, so to speak, and say, are we good? Are we still doing what we're supposed to be doing? Are we in that right direction? Have we shifted slightly? So yeah, there's definitely something to that. And I think the hard part, especially when we talk about this in the digital space, everything is moving at such a fast rate that, platforms are popping up. Last year, we weren't having conversations like this about TikTok.
No,
it was.
I don't want to have them today, but they're important.
And it's just like we weren't. And I mean, even a couple years ago when, TikTok was there, it was like, all right, well, I'm hopping on the platform and I'm kind of checking it out and seeing, I think there's some potential here, but there's also some pitfalls. And it was, I'm going to keep an eye on this. and I might dip my toe in the water a little bit and see where it's going. And I was more consuming than producing. But then everything's accelerating and it's going so fast. And I saw the concept of vertical video really taking off, and not long form vertical video, short form vertical video. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, yeah, now there's something here. Now I need to figure things out and I need to go quick, but I don't know what to do. So let's try a few things and figure out what works. And through that process, I think because I've adapted to so many other platforms in such a quick time, that I do what you're talking about, where it's circle around, reevaluate. Is this doing what it's supposed to be doing or not supposed to be doing? And I mean, there's a cautionary tale in all of that for every area of our life. Hey, we're human beings. We can all miss it. So it's important to kind of recheck and say, is this where we're at, where we're supposed to be, where we're supposed to be heading? Do we still know what we're supposed to be doing yet? Okay, well, let's try a few more things and hopefully we'll figure it out. So yeah, just
maybe it's personality types, but my personality type is to be more cautious, to check back in, like, okay, Lord, are we still tracking? Are we still, rather than, there's another personality type. My father-in-law is this way. He's all ahead full, and then he'll look back afterwards and be like, okay, I think we're still good.
Yeah.
Lord, are we still good? You need to back up a little bit. That, to me, that would be mortifying. I would rather have the Lord say, press on, press on, press on,
right.
press on. I guess just personality types. I love the people. Like, I think you're probably a mix, but I love the people like that who are all ahead full. They're inspiring to me because I'm like, yeah, hats off to you. Just blaze a trail. Who cares what anybody else is doing or thinking or whatever? Just carve it.
Yep.
That ain't me, though.
Yeah, and I mean, I've always kind of had that extreme, extroverted, compulsive behavior where it's just compulsive. Like you say, or impulsive. Yeah, there you go. Oh. Both impulsive and compulsive, I guess, now that I think about it. But you say jump. I'm not asking how high, how far, or at what time. I'm jumping.
You've already jumped.
It's like before you even, sounded out the P, I've already acted upon it. And it's like, okay, yeah, let's go. Awesome. Somebody sends me a little thing of Da Bomb hot sauce. I don't ask anybody how much you're supposed to put on it. I don't look at, hey, how is this supposed to be coating a chicken wing? No, I just, it's hot sauce. It goes on my spicy nugs, and I'm going to roll this around. I'm going to get it covered. Oh, but I did it in the other room and people aren't going to believe me. Here's a little extra dab.
Oh,
no.
My.
Sometimes I get myself in trouble, and sometimes I feel the pain because of it. And it's a lesson learned one way or another. And my personality is one of those that I would rather kind of be on the forefront of missing the mark than in the back end of doing it later. And it's a personality. And I don't think either one is the best, but I think both are good in their own right, because God can and will use them both. And you can look at, Apostle Peter and Apostle Paul, as two polar opposites on that. Paul took a very cautious approach to things. And I know people will sit there and say, oh, but he was so bold. No, that was the gifting of the Holy Spirit that forced him to be bold. I mean, because you sit there and you look at how Paul was the one consenting to their deaths, but he wasn't the one actually doing it. He's standing in the back of the crowd and he's like, maybe somebody ought to, murder these guys. Let's get rid of them. Whereas Peter, on the other hand, I mean, people show up in the garden to take Jesus, and before he even has a chance, he's pulled out a sword and hacked somebody's ear off. It's like he didn't ask permission. He didn't check to see if Jesus even wanted to be defended. No, just whoosh. So I'm a little like Peter. Open mouth, insert foot. So, hey. What have we got? We got some other stuff here, I know. Mom was saying, as pastors, don't you think that you have to be on Facebook, if not only knowing your sheep are there, but maybe as protection from the shepherd. To be there to help protect them.
I don't know about that. Be there for them, perhaps, but I don't know. I think if you're signing up for Facebook, you know what you're signing on for, and you're entering into the gladiator arena with full knowledge. And when you make posts, you know what's coming. Now,
Yeah.
if there's things like we do have, I don't know how else to put this. We do have some weaker-willed, weaker-minded, maybe folks in our. It just is what it is. Congregation, differently abled, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
And so when they are on Facebook and they bite off on certain things, or even older folks who don't know that certain things are a scam. I tell you what, whenever that color thing came across, you know, like you could scroll down and you'd never hit the bottom of that color. It wasn't a scam, but we had to mention it to people to say, here's what you need to do. Here's the settings you have to put on Facebook so that you don't get stuck in that, because they would get it every day and just be so frustrated. It's like, here's a little piece. Let me change some settings. So stuff like that maybe, but I don't know. What about you? I don't think necessarily protecting them. I think for most people, you know what you're getting into.
I know what I think. I know what she's trying to say. And there are some. I would say it's more about being an example to them.
Yeah.
Maybe showing them a better approach to using social media. Here, there you go.
What is that? What is it? Full Faith? Reading your shirt.
Yeah, it was Full Faith Christian Center. It was the church shirt before we dropped the Christian Center and went to Full Faith Church.
Okay.
What, man, that eCam's lagging. Apparently, this is the problem when you do a switching via, computer resources. It takes a little bit of a delay. No, I would say maybe being an example with some of the posts that we have and how we would how we post, what we ought to post, and things like that. I think that can help them, not necessarily as their only example, but show them another Christ-like example and kind of set the tone for some of that stuff. I think that can be very beneficial, but not just on Facebook. I think on any platform there is out there, we can do that. As far as, shepherding, protecting them, some of them possibly. Like I've done that. I've had different church members that they think they have this theology and they want to take that theology, which is a squirrely theology, if I'm being nice, and they want to attack this other church member and talk about how they don't have any faith because of their squirrely theology. That's where me being on there is nice, because I get to come in and give them a very stern rebuke. And it's like, you can receive this private, or I'm going to go on that public post and ridicule you in front of everybody. Choice is yours. You publicly act like a fool, I will publicly treat you like a fool. Or you can privately apologize and rescind it, and then we'll take care of it from there. I think that's where some of that protection is nice, because sometimes there are people doing some squirrely things and you don't know if you're not there and you don't see it, because sometimes it's not relayed to you. And unfortunately, a lot of the church hurts are the worst hurts. So there is some of that can happen. I also think that's where we as a body, even in a local congregation, it's good to have those relationships among ourselves, so that it's not putting all of it on the pastor to sit there and say, hey, watch everything, but did you see this post? What do you think of that? Bring it to the attention. Sometimes that's A-okay in my book. I enjoy those. So, John Hayes made it back. He did make it back, right? Yeah, he was here earlier, and he says, finally made it.
He had a meeting.
All we need for the next step is where to step. I like that. And he says, I want the whole roadmap, but instead, sometimes we only get the next step. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And Genevieve does say that she's not sorry for me because she told me not to smother that in the bomb hot sauce. But can I just say, after experiencing what can only be described as the pains of hell inside my stomach lining, after experiencing that, every time I watch Hot Ones and it gets up to number 8 is the bomb. Every time it gets up to number 8, I'm just sitting there giggling because I know every single person. Like, that should be the number 10.
Oh, yeah.
It should be. Like, it's always been the hottest one. And it's just, it's not good. But if you guys want to,
I can't tell, and you would know for real. I can't tell if it just tastes that bad or if it's that much of a jump in spice, because it's like, that's when it starts getting into what, 500,000, a million, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know. And they cannot have an accurate Scoville reading on that at all. I would say it's a combination of the jump. It is, but like, so that Scoville reading, that has to be like per, like, dot. Because when you smothered, it's like, no. Like, I've had Carolina Reaper sauce. It wasn't as hot as that thing. Like, the Carolina Reaper sauce was bad. It was bad. It's got a great flavor to it. It was bad. No, this, when on that vlog, at the end, it shows me, and it's like, you see my mind, and you can see me rethinking every single life decision that has led me up to this point. Because somewhere along the way, I went really wrong. It was like, why did I follow Jessica on Instagram and lead me to Jarrod? This was a bad idea.
I don't remember, truly. I don't even remember why I sent you the sauce, but it was in good faith. It wasn't like to tear you up and make sure that you were punished for. It was like, oh, he'll enjoy this.
I asked Genevieve. I questioned her. I was like, did I do or say something to make Jarrod mad? Like, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemies.
I think it was, so it was at a time whenever Shane, who's on the channel every now and again, a friend of mine, he loves spicy things. We love to eat spicy things together. When we would celebrate challenges or subscriber counts, then we would do a challenge. We would do a hot wings challenge. And so you had passed some milestone, and I sent it to you innocently, and it was like, that was a mistake. So in the future, I won't be sending you hot sauces to celebrate.
Don't. I mean, I like hot. I like spicy. I like flavor, and I really like my taste buds. Like, if there has been anything about COVID-19 that has given me a little bit of fear, it has been the possibility that I might lose my taste buds.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because no. No. I want to taste roasted beans. I want to taste my Cholula hot sauce and my Frank's buffalo sauce. I want it. I want to be able to taste the flavor, which I forgot to send you a picture of Casey's Taco Pizza. It is.
I remember you talking about that.
Yesterday was Taco Tuesday, and it looked delicious. Oh, it looked delicious. I'm going to send you that message. So
we need to make a list for whenever I come up there. We need to make a list of foods to eat and places to see.
Yep. Well, we've got to hit Zombie Burger. So we got to do Zombie Burger. You definitely got to try like a breaded pork tenderloin, which I guess I found out that it's very similar to, I don't know, some German sandwich. But now I can't remember what it was. But the difference is it's pan fried and ours is a deep fried. We deep fry everything. Like, absolutely everything. That's what y'all should do. You should all make a trip up here during the Iowa State Fair.
Ooh.
You get all the stuff in that. Like, just doesn't matter. But just be prepared to be a hurting unit. And if you've got any kind of a diet, it's definitely a cheat day. Because it's like, this ain't even treating. It's all about cheating. It's so wrong.
I'm curious. Wrong. Is Carlos referencing a food that you're talking about with Poopy Pampers, or is he just trying to get us to say Poopy Pampers.
I didn't even see anything.
Carlos C. is talking about. He says, I can't smell Poopy Pampers. I'm guessing that's the taco.
It was just
taco?
back. He says no. He says the taste goes away.
But
comes back.
COVID. Oh.
Smell, on the other hand, doesn't come back 100%. I can't smell Poopy Pampers. Okay, that would be a benefit of it. However, I don't have any kids in diapers anymore, so it's not a problem. But yes,
you got me, Carlos. I was
because
thinking
of COVID. Yeah.
Why are we saying Poopy Pampers here?
Why? Because he wants to hear us say Poopy Pampers, and we'll say it like 3 more times.
There they are. There's the rest of your comments. I got you.
Yeah, they were popping up. It was a little bit of a delay on there. And John, tenderloins and taco pizza. John knows what we're talking about. Oh, so good. So good. And Genevieve, Hertz donut. Hertz donuts are delicious. Although, Jarrod, you don't have to go very far from that. I think they've got Hertz donuts in Tulsa. So I don't know how much farther south.
That's a bit of a trip.
It's a bit of a trip for everybody else in the country.
Yeah.
But for those crazy people that live in Iowa that, we just 6 hours? No big deal. It's just like,
no thanks.
It's what it is. But anyways, Carlos does say, hey, thanks for saying Poopy Pampers.
You're most welcome.
Kind of fun. Dean Lentini, gas station pizza. Iowans, smack my head. Yes, it is delicious. Carlos, the Hertz donut. Hertz donut is if you're a kid and you ask somebody if they wanted a Hertz donut and they said yes, you slugged them in the arm and you're like, Hertz donut. But Hertz Donuts is a local donut shop. It's, not local here, but it's kind of a chain that's around, and they make some of the craziest donuts out there. Like the Bart Simpson, it's a donut that has like Butterfingers crunched up and sprinkled all over it. It's
quick
so
question.
Good.
I'm in rural America, so do they still have Krispy Kremes? Whatever happened to those things? They're still around?
Krispy Kreme's still around. And honestly, I think Krispy Kreme does have one of the best fluffy glazed donuts. I like cake donuts that are the thick, dense ones.
Whoa,
what?
I don't know if we're still going to be friends. Keep going. I'm listening.
Cake donuts. The density of a cake donut is
something not right in your mind. No. Depends. You can church it up a little bit. Maybe take some cream cheese and a chocolate frosting and run over the top of that thing with a heavy dose. But otherwise, you're gonna be a far piece from making that a good donut.
No,
it's like a cake. No.
You're
deceived, my good sir. Don't worry. We will
I'm not.
lay hands on you afterwards and pray for you.
I'm not.
Chocolate
glaze, sprinkles on top of it, maybe a little bit of coconut. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Although I will say Hertz Donut, they do have like a maple bacon Long John. And it's actually got like bacon on it.
That's awesome.
And it's delicious. So,
that's awesome.
How do we get onto these things? Anyways, so John replying to Dean. Don't knock it till you try it. If you have not tried a Casey's taco pizza, you have not experienced that little bit of heaven that God has placed here on earth for you. It is absolutely amazing. Genevieve, best pizza ever.
We got to stop. I'm starving. This is around lunchtime for me. Good night.
Yep.
I'm ready for a donut.
Jen's saying it's called Hertz Donut because you hurt after you've had one or two. Very true. Very true. And that was Carlos saying he can't smell Poopy Pampers. No, he's like, we have Stan's Donuts here in Chicago. Yep. Dean saying a new segment, Donut Talk. Now I need to stop by Tim Hortons.
I feel you, Dean.
He's like, let's see, spent some years in southern Minnesota, tried it, and that's all I'll say.
But did you like it?
Dean he said he tried it, and that's all he'll say. Dean, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. Now, it's not for I don't like tomatoes, so I get my Casey's pizza without tomatoes. And it's so good. It's so good. It's not good the next day warmed back up and reheated, though. No. Yeah, Genevieve, don't they have a donut called Jesus? It's actually Jesus. But yes, they do. Oh man, we have just gone astray.
We're off the rails today.
This week. Yep, we went from Poopy Pampers to Maple Donuts. All the way back again. Anywho, hey, as we get ready to wind up and finish this out, as Sonic Grace jumps in and says, hey y'all.
What's up, Sonic?
Any final parting shots, final words you got? Anything?
I've got a question for you. Are we still making this a podcast, or is this only a stream now? Because I would imagine if you're on the podcast, you're going, what in the world? What in tarnation?
So technically we do have a podcast out there. I just haven't uploaded the audio in forever and a day. But I think part of that has been because of us having issues with, being down and Snowmageddon and all of that
anyone
stuff.
Listen to the show outside of, or view the show not view, I guess. Does anybody watch the replay that's live in the comments? And does anyone, if you're watching the replay, does anyone watch the replay? That would be interesting. Leave it in the comments.
Yes and yes.
I'd be curious to know. Let's have a fresh update on that one. And if you watch, or if you listen to it via podcast, leave it in the comments. I would love to know that as well. I'm curious.
Yeah, so yes, and yes. Like, I can check in on some of the settings. I would say we get about half of about a third of the views and watch time on these actually comes in the replay. So I get that, but then there's also the audio podcast. Now, granted, it is a little bit behind on that. Why is it?
The title needs to be Poopy Diapers and Donuts.
All right. So the title for this week's episode is Poopy Pampers and Donuts. This keeps, there it is. We'll go to Vlog
Potty humor. I'm easily amused. I'm gone.
So when I check the Vlog Pastors, the last one that I uploaded, shame on me. I haven't uploaded an episode since, is that November? I'm sorry. For those of you that are now listening to this audio upload, I have felt shame. And I have shamed myself. And now I have uploaded. I apologize for the lack of uploads. You'll get one on a weekly basis now. It says there were 25 viewers or listeners on that last episode. So
cool.
Apparently, and I just, shame on me.
Well, let's do it. Let's keep it going. I thought it was neat. I looked at it the other day. I was trying to find out what the sound was and to see if you could hear it. So.
Those episodes won't get uploaded though.
Nope.
The ones where there was bad audio, we're scrapping those all together. Actually, I deleted them. I think I've got them hidden on the YouTube channel even. Like, you can't even go back and find those.
We don't speak of those. This is this is like asterisk before episode 38.
No, they're going to have like episode 31, 32, and then like 36. So there's going to be a gap of like 4 in there.
So some of you guys got to see the missing episodes, the lost episodes of Vlog Pastors.
For those that were with us, you did an amazing job. You endured. You are the true heroes. It's like this. No,
that was so rough.
It was so bad. It was so hard. It was like, I can't do it. So couldn't do it. But anywho. Any other thoughts that you got? Anything else? Man. When's your next video coming out?
Shortly. Okay, same as last week. So I've got a storyline going with the whole just carrying you guys along, or my audience along, not necessarily you guys, because some of you guys don't know me, but carrying my audience along with this whole sell of the church, moving into, and I'm enjoying that because I'm just documenting life. But I happen to catch some little side nuggets along the way. and I don't know whether to finish them up. I've made the videos. I don't know whether to finish them up or not and just kind of release them because they are what they are, but they don't really carry on the main storyline. I feel like it's interruptive. So I don't know. I don't know when my next video would be. If you're talking about as far as the main storyline that's going on over in my channel, it's probably going to be next weekend. If it's or next week sometime. If it's a side nugget, I probably have one coming out Friday.
Okay.
What about you?
I should have a vlog coming out tomorrow. I should have shorts starting back out today. So we'll have those coming, and tomorrow might actually be a 3-video day. So we may have your short, we may have a vlog, and possibly a What Joshua video as well.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Also been working on digital ministry podcast, digital ministry show, whatever I feel like calling it at any point in time. It is going to, I've got most of the stuff ready for doing a live stream recording on that. It's just trying to find out when I want to do it. I will ideally be doing that on Mondays. I don't know exactly what time on Mondays, but that's what the plan is. However, the issue that I'm running into with this Monday was I made it more complicated than it needs to be. So, which I have a tendency of doing. Like, I wanted all of my graphics all set up, and it had to be oh so perfect. And after about 4 hours on the computer, I'm like,
good enough.
No, whatever. I don't care. So I stopped. And then it was just like, I'm moving on to the next thing. We might have an episode of that this week. We might not. If not, at least on Monday. But yeah, you'll have a vlog tomorrow for sure. Shorts today. What Joshua video sometime either tomorrow or Friday. And then probably something else. I mean, apart from the shorts before the weekend's up. Because I'm in that groove of make it and I send it out. Just
there you go.
Make it and send it. Make it and send it. Make it and send it. And don't care about analytics. And I'm just making a bunch of stuff. And it's working. Which I think I didn't even check. Here was the other thing.
What are we looking for?
I'm getting close to another milestone too.
Oh, dude, I wasn't paying attention. Here we go.
I am getting close. I think we're about 40 subscribers away to hitting the 2,000 mark. Sure enough.
That's so cool, man.
Yep, we're right at 1960. So we are there. It is almost. And then people need to be heading down into the link in the description, and it's one of the top links. If they haven't already been over to your channel, if they are not already over there and subscribing to your channel, you ought to do that. It is the first link in the description below. Click on it.
Come on in, the water's warm.
Jarrod's making some fire content over there, especially with that new Sony stuff. It's beautiful.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
I love it. Yeah, and I'm half the time I'm not even like commenting on some of these. Actually, I think I comment on most of them, but there's an occasional one that is missing. But no, it's been good stuff. I've been enjoying the documentation process and seeing how you do it. I think you're doing a better job of documenting the journey than I am. So I'm enjoying it. But,
appreciate that, man.
So, if you guys like the content I like, which you should because you're over on this channel, then you need to go over to his channel and hit the subscribe, ring the bell, turn it on, and he said he'll have a video for you by the end of the week.
Oh, I love the push right there. Actually, I will. I am leaning more into what you're doing, where it's just make it and let it loose. That's why it may be Friday, it may be Thursday, it may be Saturday. I don't know. When it's done, it's out. And what you can do to keep up to date with Joshua is you can buy him a coffee. And if you buy him a coffee with that little link over there, which I assume is also in the description, if you go down there and hit that little bad boy, it will notify you, because I get an email every so often whenever he's posted some behind the scenes stuff. Really cool.
Yep. Yeah, memberships and just supporters. If you just want to support and say, hey, here's another coffee, because you saw me drink like 4 of them already, I'd appreciate it. And if you want some extra value added
you
back.
gotta feed his children because of his coffee addiction. It's so bad.
And if you want some extra content, do have a membership on there. And I'm going to continue to be bringing a bunch of stuff. You're going to get member only stuff. I mean, there's posts that I'm putting out there that is going to be members only. Like the one last week was a behind the scenes of my TikTok setup and what I was using and how I was recording it. And you'll have some other stuff similar to that. I'm probably going to even be doing some live stream stuff inside there for members only. And then also getting early access to other content. Yeah, that's all that. Oh, and then I just opened, this is just open. You guys are hearing this first. I haven't even promoted this or even said anything. It may not even be fully set up. But I've had so many people that have kind of reached out and asked for help over the last year or so with their stuff. It's bogging me down on time, and we're now going to have, and it's on Buy Me a Coffee, coaching calls. So if you want to set up a one-on-one coaching call where I go in, it may say it's only 60 minutes. If you guys know me, this stream was supposed to be 60 minutes, and here we are at an hour and a half. So I like to, I don't know, under promise and over deliver, but you got some options there if you want some of that stuff and discounts for members only, regardless of what Diana scolded me on not giving discounts ever. I love my members. I'll give you a little discount, just an itty bitty one. But all right, there's all the shameless self-promotion. It's shameless because I already took shame for not uploading the podcast itself. All right.
John Hayes, I'll holler at you afterwards. You got my gears going.
No, it's not going to happen.
You know what I'm talking about. We'll get it done.
It's not going to happen.
We'll get it done.
No, it's just not going to happen.
Full send.
Nope.
Here we go.
Nope. If you want some type of a hot sauce challenge for 2K subscribers, I will see how far up I can take a bottle of hot sauce on my DJI Mini 2 before it falls. That's what I'll do.
You are so going to lose that thing.
Ain't going in my mouth. I'll just be like, here, put it on. I'm not even going to duct tape it. I'll just let it hover. I'll balance it and then straight up. Let's see what the elevation is when it falls off. Because that's all I'm doing that hot sauce for. Unless you want to get me some like Frank's Red Hot. And by the way, you ever tried Frank's Red Hot on ice cream? You know, they say Frank's goes good on everything. I've tried it on pretty much everything. Frank's Red Hot on ice cream is amazing. You get that sweet and spicy. I'm telling you, the hot and then the immediate cold is good. All right. I'm out of here. You out of here?
I'm out of here.
Stay blessed. Enjoy God's best. Have a great week. Oh, I think we're still live because it doesn't want to push the stream deck finish.
Buy me